DoorDash driver mama. Andre TV here from DoorDash driver mama, coming to you on a Saturday in May. I am currently at my son's baseball game. They are having like an interleague type playoff type tournament deal. He is the pitcher currently on the mound. We are shooting this in the evening, so we already know this game we did not win, but he did a good inning here. What do you do when DoorDash is dead? What do you do? Well, what I have done is pick up on other apps. In my area, DoorDash is very much slower than other years during this time. It usually picks up once Christmas is over and tax season kicks in, but not this year. It is 2025. So I have incorporated more Uber Eats and I started doing more Instacart and opened myself up to those opportunities which I saw as negatives in the past. So that is one way you can combat DoorDash being dead, but I'm also going to be journaling my journey on this channel because I'm going to be starting a new channel. I'm not going to talk about it now because it is very new, and the most money you can make, I believe, is when you get in at the beginning. But once I get my first check, I will let you know what it is. We shut this inning out, and then we went on. I think he hit the ball twice, but he grounded out. He's not the fastest runner, and that first baseline is quite a ways away from the home plate. And right now, just to let you know, between the three apps, all of them are within $100 of each other at the end of the week. So I make between $200 to $300 a week on Instacart, Uber Eats, and DoorDash, and I'll show you what I've done this week so far. We're about to start dinner. So what happened to DoorDash? This week, Uber Eats is beating out DoorDash $417 to $300, and then we have Instacart coming up in the rear with $258. But Sunday is the biggest Instacart day. We'll see what happens. So it is now 6:46 p.m. We arrived down on the avenue about 6:20, logged on about 6:30, and all of the orders, well, we didn't receive many orders at all. So our first order, we turned on DoorDash. We started at 70% acceptance, 95% completion. If you are in a market where it's a lot of dashers and not a lot of orders, you know if once you fall below platinum, they're not going to send you anything. So we knew we had to take that first order, whatever it was. That first order was $9.25 going 3-point-something miles. We are going to pick it up. We were waiting a few minutes to see if we got an add-on. If there is something on the way or even further away, they usually will send it to you as an add-on. That didn't happen in the last 10 minutes, so let's go pick up some Indian food. We have dropped off the Indian food, the chicken makhani and all of the good things, the sang paneer, and now we are back on the block. It is 7:31 and we have our next order. On DoorDash, it is for $6.75 with the plus sign going half a mile, and that $9.25 did turn into $11.25. This, we're getting some pizza, halal pizza, and I believe 2 different varieties. We are back. So while we were delivering that $6.75 plus, that went up to $10.02. I didn't get a screenshot because I forgot to hit pause. So when I delivered it and saw I was open, I hurried up and tried to pause it so they didn't send me another because I had already taken my next order. On Uber Eats, it was for $10.07, picking up at a restaurant a block from the pizza shop and taking it 2.5 miles. We have delivered both, and now we're back on the avenue waiting on our next order. It is 8:10. We're probably going to work till 11, maybe 11:30, maybe 12. We have to see because tomorrow is my daughter's championship for her high school team. And this is the best year where they might actually win and could win. Their pitcher is a very good pitcher. Hi, Ryan. She's not watching this. Anyway. And she's a senior and graduating. So I don't know what'll happen next year with the team. My daughter's a junior, but their championship is tomorrow at 5 o'clock, which is prime time dinner. But you only have 4 championship possibilities, and she's made it for the second time. So I'll be there tomorrow at 5. So we're working late tonight. At 8:13, now 14. We have our next order, but I'm going to put it out to the Dashers and Uber Eaters out here. Now, my third DoorDash order for the night. I'm still at 70%. I hit decline, even though it was a good order, quote unquote, $10.50 for 3.3 miles. But it's back to the pizza shop that I'm talking about. This pizza owner is very friendly to your face, but talks about you behind your back. And how do I know? Because other Dashers told me. You know that 10-minute wait where you used to be able to do it all the time if you didn't like the order and you can unassign penalty free, you wouldn't lose a completion point. Well, I have done that with many of the orders from that restaurant because many of the people who order from that restaurant do not tip well. So I did that once and they told another Dasher, gave my first name and all, and said, I wish she would just not take it, or she would just not take it than to hold on to it. You can't tell me how to run my independent contractor business. But now they instituted a new policy, which is not new all over, meaning everyone is doing it, but they are doing it a little bit more aggressively than most. Now, I've been picking up over 2 years there. That first order that was the pizza, he asked, can you confirm the order? Now, their door is, where it's situated, it's a big pull, wind pull, and their door opens in. So to close the door, you have to push it hard. And he asked me to confirm the order as he already gave me the pizzas and I'm leaving. And he put his hand on the door and leaned on it with his weight. Why are you securing the door when it's time for me to leave after you asked me to confirm? I felt a little threatened myself, meaning I need to watch you confirm it before I allow you to leave my store. It might be coincidence, but it's not rainy, it's not cold, there was no one else in the store, and there was no need for you to close it securely after I have the pizzas and I'm about to leave out of your store. And that is what this order is. I didn't want to pick it up, but when I hit decline, I would have went down to 69%. So now I'm going to get it. He has blocked other Dashers, and I am tempted to ask him to block me now because I just don't like them personally. Would you take offense? Let me know. 8:41. We are back on the avenue. We are most likely going to have to end that dash because I'm still paused. But when I arrive back, I have a Uber match. 11:21 for 3.5 miles. Many times the $11 or 11 and change, a little above 11, indicates a hidden tip on Uber Eats, even though that has not been proven 100%. But typically it's over that. So we're picking up 2 pizzas and 3 dinners from an Italian restaurant, and let's hope it's ready, and we'll see if we can get it within the 35 minutes and continue with the DoorDash. 16 p.m. We are back in the area and we have our next order. Thank goodness it was a good one. It's a large order catering. 10 items from a sports bar that serves, things like hot dogs and cheeseburgers and tater tots, and it's going just a half a mile, and we're leaving it in the lobby. Let's hope it's ready. So the order was ready. We have it in hand, and we accepted our next already. It is on Uber Eats. $10.10 for 2.9 miles. We're going to drop off first because that restaurant that we're going to for the Uber Eats usually is not ready right away, and it's 2 items, so it most likely is not going up, but we're going to stay moving. Let's go. DoorDash had this customer rated as a very I forget the term they use now, but now they started rating the customers for you to deliver with care for their top ones. So over $100 worth of bar food items, and they tipped a whole $5. We're grateful and we're moving. It is now 10:20 something. We have dropped off the last order. We arrived back on the avenue and we received one of those ghost orders from Uber Eats. You know where it's too good to be true. And sometimes it works out. It didn't this time. It was $40.08, picking up at Five Guys, taking it to another state, about a 40-minute drive. And I took it because that would have essentially secured my night. But I get there and of course it's picked up, stolen, nobody canceled it. So then we have our next order on DoorDash. $14 for 5.4 miles going into deep DC, and we're gonna be late. We're most likely gonna get a contract violation because by the time we arrive back, the stores would have been closed. The grocery store closes at 11, and we had to stop and get the food to cook for dinner. We're gonna be having teriyaki pork, cabbage, home fries they can eat off of all day breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and what else? Oh, we had to get eggs, and a loaf of bread, and a watermelon. Now let's go deliver, and we're most likely going to see the contract violation once I drop it off. Dropped off, and we do have the contract violation. I arrived to the store at 13 minutes instead of within the 10 minutes they allow, but the customer, it was a little bit of a hidden tip. We received $15.25 instead of the $14 offered, and we might be closing down DoorDash for the night because at night they tend to send you orders you don't want to go, meaning not the pickup of the store, but the drop-off location of the customer. But we'll see. We're going back to the avenue. Time is now 11:13 p.m. We did decide to stay in the other zone. We delivered to that zone after we got the violation, and it is a $3 peak pay going on. So although I don't like to work up here because the orders up here usually take me to parts of DC I don't like to go to in the daytime, and definitely not at night, but they also don't tip a lot. It's a couple of colleges around and a lot of apartments, and most people tip $1 or $2, $3 to $4 if you're lucky, and that's why I like to stay in my other zone. But $3 peak pay, it may be worth it. We have our first order for the night, and this may be the last because it's already 11:14. It is $8 going like a half a mile. Let's go get some meat. Okay, this last customer's apartment was right by Wegmans, and we picked up 2 pounds of grapes. We didn't get them from the other store because they were $3.99, not on sale. That's why we got the watermelon. That whole watermelon was $4.99. But now we have some grapes for tomorrow's excursions as well. And we have a last DoorDash. We are going to get back to McDonald's for $6.75 for 1.6 miles. And they're not too far from the street leading to the highway because it's almost midnight and we have to get up early. Let's go. Order in the car and we're leaving, and this is yet another reason why I don't like working up here. Look at how crowded this parking lot is. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone back out and hit the opposite car and not stop and keep moving. Oh, terrible. Dropped off at 12 o'clock on the dot, so technically that last dash is going to show Sunday. So we worked from about 6:30 to midnight, and on DoorDash we made approximately 70. It's still a few cents, but 55 and then 14.75. And then on Uber, the last tip we're waiting to come in, but we're gonna end at about 41. So that's not great money, and it's a Saturday night. The money is not there like it used to be. So I'm back to creating videos, hopefully every day. I know every time anybody who has watched this channel knows how inconsistent I have been, but I am trying to do better. We will keep our fingers crossed. We are going home because we have to get up early and cook before we start the day's journeys. Hopefully this helps someone, and I wish you large tips, no waits, and short distances. DoorDash driver, mama. DoorDash driver, mama. DoorDash driver, mama.